So about a month ago, iiSU released their Alpha 7 update, which introduced iiSU mode and a lot of other features. Well, we just got Cocoon 3.0, which introduced some similar features and a lot more. So I want to go over both of these front ends, talk about their features, and help you guys decide which one is right for you. So let's hop right into it. Now, like I said, one of the biggest features from iiSU was the new iiSU mode, which basically, instead of having a long horizontal grid for all of your games and apps, there are these separate screens that you can kind of scroll through this way. Cocoon also has that feature now. As you guys can see, we have our first screen here, and then we can scroll through just like that. And in order to enable it in Cocoon, you just want to click on start twice. That brings you right to the settings. Then in personalization, scroll down until you get to grid, and then you want to select page mode right here. And you can also customize the amount of columns per page, and if you leave on rows per page to auto, that means you can kind of just change it on the fly. So here in Cocoon, if you click on the left stick, it will swap between different layouts. You can also have custom layouts depending on what zoom level that you're at. Now here in iiSU, it is super easy to customize all of these little icons here. So for example, I have Super Mario Bros. Wonder right here. It is in a 2x2 box. So if I want to customize that, all you have to do is click on select, and you can just customize the size of it right here. And also if you wanted to move your tiles around, that is also much easier here in iiSU. All you have to do is hold down on any item that you want to move, and you just click A on it, and you can move it wherever you want, and it dynamically moves every other object to fit around it, which is really handy and allows you to make some quick, easy changes. Now if we move over to Cocoon, you'll see that it's not that easy. If I click on start here and go to edit grid, and let's say I wanted to move, let's say this image here to like this first screen that we have, it's just simply not gonna let you unless you pick an item that takes up the same amount of space as it. Then it will replace it with that, but it doesn't move the items kind of dynamically and keep the order that you've set. Another advantage that iiSU has is being able to change the size of any icon that you have here on the home screen. So for example, if I have a game, I can go ahead and change the size of that pretty easily, and it works no problem. And if I have an image here, I can do the same thing. And once I change the size of any image, I can go in and recenter the art, and it's super easy to make those changes. But here at Cocoon, I can change the size of a game, for example, by just clicking start, going to edit grid, and if I press Y, I can change the size super easily here. But you're not able to change the size of smart folders, and certain images you'll only be able to change the size up or down, or maybe left or right, depending on the aspect ratio of that image. Now iiSU and Cocoon now both have widgets. In iiSU, in order to add a new widget, you just click A on an empty space, go to add widget, and you can add an Android widget. This will be different depending on the apps that you have. So if you have Spotify, you're going to see a Spotify widget here, YouTube. You can also add a web widget, which is basically put in a URL, and then it goes to any website that you want, and you can just easily have access to that website on the home screen, which is a feature that Cocoon does not have. Now heading over to Cocoon, it's a similar process. You want to click A on an empty space, go to new, and new widget. So here you have a bunch of new options, and what's really cool is it actually shows what the widget will look like when you add it. So here, my most recently played game was Burnout Revenge, and it shows it here if I want to add it. You can add a playtime widget, retro achievements, or Android widgets, and more. You can also add little images, and they actually have their own theme plaza where you can see custom images made by other users. So when you go to image pin, click A, you're gonna see a bunch of different options here. So I'm just gonna pick this Pokemon Legends ZA option. It's gonna download these different sprites, and after that's done, you'll have a selection to choose from here. Once you've picked the image that you like, you can click Y, and now you'll have a little image there. Now let's talk about some specific Cocoon features, which is why I prefer to use this front end. So the first reason are going to be these pods. So this first one is the Silk pod. Basically, you can hop into here and you can download a theme and just apply it without having to do too much tinkering. And what's really cool is you can also customize different elements from different themes and make your own theme. The next pod is going to be Flutter Key, which gives you access to a keyboard no matter what app that you're in, and it also gives you access to a trackpad here, which is very useful for playing some PC games and having mouse input. This pod is not available yet, but next we have the Log pod, which basically shows your activity and some of the games that you've been playing, and if you're logged into retro achievements, it even will show how many achievements that you have achieved and how many you still need to get. And then lastly, we have the Picnic pod here, which keeps track of all of your different screenshots, and you can also edit them and share them. They've also added really cool logo and wallpaper customization with this update, update. So here we have Zelda, A Link Between Worlds. In order to edit this, I'm going to click on Y, edit game artwork, and here you can change the icon and the hero. I'm going to add a new hero here, and then I'm going to go to logo, and as you can see, Link here is on the right, so I want the logo to kind of be on the left. Here in this box, you can choose where you want the logo to be, and you can also change the size of it, so we can make it a little bit bigger to fill up more of that space. And once you have it exactly how you want, just press Y to save, press Y one more time, and now you have a big game logo that's not blocking any of the artwork on this side. Also, something new that I've noticed with this update is Cocoon is able to shut down and open games, and you no longer have to go into the Android menu and clear all from here just to get your emulator restarted. So for example, if I open up my Switch folder, open up a game here, once you're in the game, you can just click on the home screen. It will tell you that is suspending the games you just opened. Let's say I want to play a different Switch game, I can just go right into here, open it up, and it'll say shutting down the old game and loading up the new one. I'm really glad that they added this feature. Now for all of you that are on a single screen device, or you just want to use a single row mode, you can switch to that by pressing the left stick until you get to the single mode here, and they have some customization options. So you can either keep them in a custom order by keeping it on manual, or you can switch through all of these different modes here. So you can do most played, recently played, alphabetical, whatever you want, and you can also change the way that this kind of line here looks. So I can customize it so that way the icon that's in the middle is bigger as I scroll through, or you can customize it so it stays focused on the left item and makes that bigger, or you can keep it kind of even here in the middle. So that's going to be pretty much it for this video, guys. If you have any questions on the new Cocoon 3.0 update, let me know down in the comments. Let me know if you guys have been enjoying using this new update. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. It's easy. I will see you guys next time.